SEC conference in football is absolutely bananas right now. It's hard to explain. It's hard to even sit down and make a video and talk about this because there is just so many outcomes here. I can't even talk about every single outcome that can happen, yet still for the SEC championship game. That's how many different things can happen and lead us down a lot of roads here. There are six, and count them, six legitimate teams that can still win the SEC championship. They can all get to the game. And if we get a couple more losses here or there, it could be 7 or 8 teams that could have a chance to get in for this SEC championship. 6 teams I'm talking about. Bama, Ole Miss, Georgia, Texas, Texas A&M, and Tennessee. 6 teams can get into the 2-spot SEC championship, and whoever wins that game could be a 2 seed, maybe even the 1 seed here in the college football playoffs. Like the margin between these teams could be absolutely so minimal, and yet their seeds will be drastically different come college football playoffs. We got 6 teams in there. Probably only 5 of them seems like are going to make the college football playoff. There's 5 of them. There's 4 of them, that are going to make the college football playoff. There's 4 of them right now in the college football playoffs, with Texas A&M and Georgia being the odd men out. There's 3 teams with 1 loss. The other 3 have 2 losses. The 3 with 1 loss: Tennessee, Texas A&M, and Texas. Tennessee plays Georgia this week. If Tennessee beats Georgia this week, I think they are into the conference championship. I think it's just very easy to figure out that they're not going to win this, or to predict that they're not going to win this, especially if Nico's not playing. I don't think that was announced yet at this moment, if he's playing or not. The line kind of tells me that he's not playing at the moment because it is 9. So I assume they're going to lose. I assume they're going to drop to 2 losses with the rest of the team. We then turn to a Texas A&M and Texas, who both have 1 loss. These teams play each other on the last week of the season. Whoever wins that game, barring no other outside losses against teams they shouldn't be losing to, whoever wins that game is definitely into the SEC championship game. Most likely it's going to be Texas. I think most likely everyone's believing it's Texas. But isn't there just a small possibility that Texas isn't the team we think they are? Like, it is possible. Like, look at this team's resume and the good teams that Texas has beaten. They're not really good teams anymore. This team blew out Michigan, number 10 ranked Michigan, week 2. Everyone thought that was an amazing win. Michigan's not even a top 40 team. So does that win really matter? No. You beat UTSA. Whoop-de-doo. You beat UL Monroe. You beat Mississippi State. You beat 18th ranked Oklahoma 34-3. That's not even a top 30 team. So now all of a sudden it's like, oh, is this team really good? Because then you lose to Georgia, get killed by Georgia. They defensively outplay you by a lot. You barely beat Vanderbilt, and you beat a bad Florida team. And you close out against a bad Arkansas team, against a bad Kentucky team, and you close out at Texas A&M. And one of what is the hardest places to play in college football, in Kyle Station. Like, this is legitimately set up for Texas A&M. They control their own destiny. There's no other team really, not many of these teams that can say that here in the SEC. Now, I think for the sake of the video, just say Texas will win this game. They're going to be big favorites. There's still probably pretty good likelihood they win this game. Texas is in. Where do we get the next team? Because we're going to have Tennessee with 2 losses. We're going to have Texas A&M with 2 losses. We're going to have Georgia with 2 losses. We're probably going to have Ole Miss with 2 losses. And we're going to have Bama with 2 losses. And how in the hell a tiebreaker is going to get decided out of those teams, beyond me. I don't even know what the tiebreaker is. I'm just saying that these last 3 weeks in the SEC are going to be crazy, must-watch television to see who gets in. Because I already know the last week of the season, it's going to be some crazy, like, this team needs this team needs that, they need this, that. I don't even know. One team might already be eliminated statistically. I don't know. I'm just going to go based off what the odds said. Now, it's Texas is the top by a lot, and that's easy because they just beat Texas A&M. They're in, right? You got Bama second. So I'm assuming Bama beats everyone in tiebreakers, but I look at Tennessee sitting there at 8-1. I think they have a better chance to get in than Bama does. Because if they beat Georgia this week, they're in. They have a win over Bama. Wouldn't they be the best choice here? But then it gets weird because if you lose to Georgia, you lost to Georgia, but you beat Bama, but Bama beat Georgia. It's the triangle effect, and that's where we get deep down the line into weird tiebreakers, right? So I can understand why Bama will be the second option there. Texas A&M, the fourth option, makes sense. They beat Texas, they're in, which I think they can. Weirdly, I think they can. Ole Miss and Georgia at the back end, they probably need some help with tiebreakers, with teams losing ahead of them. But at the end of the day, it is possible, yes. So they almost have Ole Miss as the same odds as Texas A&M, and Georgia falls off after that. So it seems like it's a race between Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Tennessee, Bama, and Texas, according to the odds. I think it's almost impossible to guess who would be in there right now. I think it's almost impossible. Ultimately, my name is Josh Wilson. If you like the video, if you like college football, you like the SEC, you like sports in general, I promise this is the channel for you. So click that subscribe button, like the video. My name is Josh Wilson. Thank you.